Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we have some WINX Club reboot news to talk about from the second full-on new fairy transformation being revealed for Tecna. We'll be breaking that down, and then we also have some more evidence, unfortunately, that suggests that the reboot is really using AI. So stay tuned, subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, so first up, yes, the second full-on brand new fairy transformation has been revealed for Tecna. Previously, we saw the transformation be revealed for Flora, Tecna, and the next up, actually after Tecna on April 17th, is Musa. So I'm very much looking forward to Musa's transformation because I feel like with her music theme, it's always very creative. So let's see. But yeah, Tecna up here first. You know, I think for a lot of people, she's probably like most people's least favorite, you know, WINX girl. But I'm always like excited to see like obviously what's in store with this reboot. So let's break this brand new fairy transformation down and see how it compares to the original, because like in my Flora breakdown, I, you know, lamented that basically it wasn't as magical or it didn't feel as complete, you know, as I think a lot of us would have liked it to be, and also like the music choice was a little bit off, just a bit too generic. So yeah, let's break it down here for Tecna's new transformation. Okay, so the transformation starts off here with a orb of some sorts here. We seem to be in the Matrix or some kind of, you know, digital virtual world here. It's all very neon colors, and yeah, it definitely reminds me of like Star Wars and Blade Runner and all that sci-fi jazz. So yeah, the orb, it opens up. We see Tecna. She's inside. She's all curled up and she looks around herself and she's like, wow, amazed. She starts to hold up all these panels that actually become little like screens, and so that's very cute. You know, we do love to see a little futuristic moments here with like the screens, and like obviously Tecna, she's all into technology, obviously, duh. Tecna, hello. So yeah, I love how, you know, we have different screens here with different little visualizations, different you know, designs and stuff. I guess she's doing different things, so she's kind of in her space here. She's kind of like checking different things like around her surroundings, perhaps like if the weather is just right to transform or whatever. Yeah, I don't know, but it's cute, you know. And then she swipes them away, the little screens, and then she's like, okay, I better get a move on. So she charges up, she lunges up, and then she's like, she, you know, reaches out her hand, and by the way, the hair looks really cute here when it's like in the middle part. Like that's cute. And by the way, she's also wearing a one piece like Flora. So, you know, I guess it's okay because obviously these are supposed to be like the simple versions before they transform. But I kind of feel like if they're all just wearing the same kind of bodysuit, that's kind of boring, you know? Anyway, but yeah, so she does something and then she starts to, you know, enhance herself by swirling around, and then she gets her first part of the outfit on. With the top here, we can see it start to appear. And then here are her bottom pieces. Here are her boots. Those look really fun. And then she starts to fly forward with her brand new hairstyle that we can see better here. She looks into the camera. She's like smiling. You know what? She looks cute. She looks really cute. But I don't know. I feel like for Tecna, you know, usually she was not always the one who smiled a lot, right? Like I feel like I remember Tecna as being very tech savvy, obviously, but because of that, she wouldn't be very much like social, I guess, like because she would always be like doing techno stuff, right? So I feel like her being more like smiley here, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's not like as Tecna to me. Like I feel like she was always more serious, you know, right? Like I feel like she was more like of the serious, one of the serious girls in the group, right? Her and maybe like Aisha, I feel like they were always more like, you know, maybe serious role models. But yeah, I don't know, maybe that's just me. But yeah, she looks cute. I like her hair color, obviously, but also the eye color. It's very teal. And then we can see here her fixing up the camera angle, and then she like reveals a little part, you know, that attaches over her buzz cut, you know, buzz cut area on her little side shaved hairstyle. So that looks really cute. You know, we have a little you know, like kind of like circuit board shape, really cute. And then she kind of zooms in into her eyes. That's, you know, that's kind of creepy. that looks kind of, you know, but yeah, it's cute because obviously this is actually we already saw this shot in the original, you know, teaser trailer from WINX Club. So yeah, we thought it was Bloom, but no, it's Tecna. So yeah, then she starts to fly around with her new hairstyle, her new outfit, which I do like the outfit, by the way. It is very simple, but I think it works good. It works well for this being a reboot, a reintroduction for a new generation. At least she still has her colors, you know, purple mainly. And then she swirls around here, you know, and then she again lunges upwards into this, again, like blue haze, blue pixels, and then we start to see the wings up here. Look at this, they look really cute. They're obviously, these are these are the first, you know, reboot fairy transformation looks, right? So the wings are not going to be huge. They are going to be mainly, you know, smaller in scale. So the wings here, they're not as big as I think a lot of us, you know, usually tend to kind of like see with WINX Club. You know, usually we have like the big wings, but here they are, you know, rather smaller. And, you know, compared also to the original Tecna wings, these are much bigger as well. And they are not as, you know, intricate and unique in design, because the original Tecna wings, they were really specific. You know, they were really like specifically hers. Like you could tell right away whose wings belonged to who. And I feel like for the reboot wings so far that we have seen, they all look kind of similar. You know what I mean? But anyway, at least we do have some more circuit board kind of shapes here in the wing designs, and she looks very serious. You know, this is more like what the expression I relate to with Tecna, you know, that I kind of in my mind that I kind of think of when I think of Tecna. I think of like, yeah, she's serious, she's badass, you know, she means business. And then we get a close up here of her top. I do like how it's very neon. It almost reminds me of like, oh my gosh, what like the neon lights that you use at like parties and like stuff. You know, what do you call, like the bendy sticks? Yeah, the name will come to me. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, this is just giving me total like party vibes. maybe not as a good thing as I think they maybe intended. It is kind of giving me like a little bit of like costume vibes, you know, maybe not as very ethereal as I think. You know, but it's okay. I like her bracelet here, her little cuffs, right? And then she again starts to fly somewhere else with her wings now. I think those look really nice again. And we get the final shot of her in her full outfit. Yeah, it's a cute outfit. I like the neon teal accents, right? Even though they do look kind of like, you know, like party sticks. But yeah, the wings are cute. I like her boots. And the hairstyle is really nice. I think the thing I like most about her new design is the hairstyle and like the little side shaved detail there with the circuit board accessory. That's really cute. The outfit itself is kind of just giving like, you know, maybe fancier looking athleisure outfit, which I guess makes sense because they're supposed to be fighting in these outfits. But if we remember the original WINX Club outfits for every transformation, you know, version, like Enchantix, Believix, Charmix, you know, those were all really cute. Those were really high fashion, very much like ethereal, very distinct as well in every specific line. Like Enchantix, Believix, those are two separate specific lines of transformations. And I feel like so far what we've seen, you know, Flora has a dress on, so that's cute. But like Tecna, this is very athleisure, and I guess it's okay. But I feel like, you know, it could have been a bit more cutesy. You know, it could have been a bit more, you know, fairy looking. Just like, I just feel like this looks like yoga pants. You know, it looks like something that you would see someone wear at like the gym. And I feel like I don't really relate to WINX Club to gym. You know, I relate to WINX Club to fairies and magic and sparkles and etherealness and just something beyond what we usually see, right? And I feel like so far what we've seen so far, it has just been very predictable, I guess, very safe, very clean, very plasticky, very, you know, I don't know. What do you feel? How do you feel about this final look for Tecna? At least Flora had like a skirt on and like some flower details, and I guess for Tecna it makes sense, like because she's technology and stuff. So it would be more simple and more like she would, yeah. In her original, the original Tecna design, she was wearing like a full-on one-piece like bodysuit with the iconic like headpiece. But I feel like here, there isn't something as specific to her relating to technology. You know, like it's just very simple athleisure looking. I don't know. So yeah, overall, I think it was cute. I probably liked it a little bit more than Flora's just because there was a bit more going on with the different segments, the different sequences. It wasn't just like, you know, like Flora, just acrobatics. Like she was at least in different like backgrounds and stuff. But speaking of, thanks to Queenie Archive on Instagram for messaging me about apparently the background for Tecna in a music video, in the transformation video. Apparently that is AI from Free Pick. So thank you, Queenie, for messaging me about this, because we have talked about the WINX Club reboot potentially having used AI for, in some cases, for like early design sketches or concept art, visualizations, etc. So you know, we've talked about if that's really the case, and I think a lot of people have been suspicious because some things just don't add up. And unfortunately, Queenie even sent me some more evidence, unfortunately, to support this claim that the WINX Club reboot has been in fact using AI, at least for the early concept art, visualizations, etc. So I think not for most of the final promo pics, but I think for like, yeah, the early sketches, concept art, etc. Again, yeah, it does seem like they have been using AI to generate just like a first image, I guess, to kind of like help them get a start with like what they want to design and stuff. I don't know, really. But basically, like with you can see here with like Aisha, that's one example. There was an AI picture of Aisha, and basically it looks like the exact same copy paste on the final version, just the earring is still there. Like you can see, like there's just a lot of anomalies here. And also the background for Althea, the lines are all wiggly and weird, and then also like Darcy's eyes, you can immediately tell when something's AI when it's like the eyes, you know, and like the fingers and the hair, when like certain patterns don't line up. So yeah, really unfortunate here. I'm not going to delve too much deeper. If you want me to make a whole video on this, I will. But for now, I mean, I guess it was just worth mentioning that, yeah, unfortunately it does seem like, you know, the actual animations themselves are not AI. They are made by people, you know, but it seems like the early renders and stuff like that, you know, again, visualizations, concept art, etc. That's where they might have dabbled in AI to kind of get a head start. So yeah, I guess it sucks, obviously, because, you know, it's like we've come such a long way from like hand-drawn animation, like 2D, with the original WINX Club, and now we're here. It looks like Miraculous Ladybug, you know, for better or worse. We're here. This is just how the future looks like, and AI is inevitably going to be a part of it. So I guess it's just about how AI will be used, and as long as it doesn't, you know, as long as AI doesn't replace people and workers, I think it's okay to use as a tool, right? To enhance, to you know, help with natural talents people already have. But I think it crosses a line when it full on replaces people's work and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, it's up to you to decide how you feel about this being used on the reboot. Again, the actual animation, I'm assuming, is not AI. I mean, we saw the BTS on the YouTube channel, so, you know, I think most of it is not going to be AI generated. I think they just used it for like the first renders and first pictures, you know, concept art visualizations that they wanted to have of characters and what they should look like. And I guess it's okay, right, to see, like, kind of to get like a first image of like what the characters would look like, and, you know, as long as, again, it doesn't end up being like the final design. And so, I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, just, I guess it sucks. Yeah. So, but yeah, let's see how much more. I hope we just don't see them use it anymore, like as prevalent here with the final, you know, with the reboot actually coming out very soon. So that's all. So yeah, what do you think of Tecna's brand new fairy transformation? Do you like it, or do you not like it as much? I think for me, it's still missing that, you know, je ne sais quoi, that special something, that special oomph to give it that magicalness, right, from the original WINX Club, and not just because, and I don't mean just the original WINX Club because it was 2D animated. I mean, like, it goes beyond that. I think it feels more like a Miraculous Ladybug than it does like WINX Club, really, which sucks. But I think it's still cute. It's just something new, I guess. We just gotta get used to it, obviously. It's just a lot of new things here at once with this reboot. So yeah, let's see. But I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please consider becoming a member of the channel to support that channel if you are able to. And of course, so you don't miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the dollty you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time stay peachy. Kisses.